Hello, my darlings. We are midweek here working on our research project. The nice part about this research project is you don't have to do a formal essay, but of course, we are trying to follow as many of the standards as possible and at least get you familiar with how a typical research essay would go. So, we're kind of modifying things a bit, but that's okay. Today, we're specifically looking at how to use source cards to organize your research work. Some classes still use regular 3x5 cards. We're going to use some digital cards here, which are very easy. I want to give you a little bit of a closer view before I show you what these little yellow bubbles are about. For many people, this will be self-explanatory, but there are a handful of people that where it's very helpful for them to be able to view the material and hear the material at one time. So I found this off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and we're going to use this handy dandy little digital situation here. So really, at the end of the day, you're going to walk away with about 12 note cards. You need to have at least 6 sources for this research project, whatever medium you choose. And you need to have at least 2 pieces of evidence per note card. Now, if you look at this particular piece of evidence, notice how this is a direct quote. Your evidence does not need to be a direct quote. It can be paraphrased. But as we've learned multiple times, just because you paraphrase something does not mean that you are not required in text to include your citation in proper MLA format. So, what we're going to do here to help us keep things clean is to use these note cards. You have your topic or your main point. So, these could go by body paragraph. You have the type of source that you are using for this particular note card. You have your evidence, whether it's paraphrased or directly quoted. And then you have your MLA formatted citation information. This you would simply get from the MyBib website that we are using to generate our source information and then come out with a nice, clean, proper formatted information. So, what you are really doing here is you are creating, I give you 8, and like I said, you need about 12. So you are creating a new note card for each of your sources. And again, there should be about 2 note cards per source. So take a look at your outline to help you kind of organize and condense that down so it doesn't feel super overwhelming. So you'll probably have per paragraph, about 2 sources. Though, of course, you could average, 1 for one paragraph, 3 for another paragraph. It doesn't really matter. Kind of it's up to you. All right, take a look at these little bubbles here. Your top one here about the topic or point, these relate to your thesis. Again, you do need to have a formal thesis, despite the fact that you may not be doing an essay, you may be doing the interview, you may be doing your storyboard, whatever you choose. Create and move the slides around according to your related ideas. So I can come over here and say, like this one doesn't really belong here. Instead, I believe it belongs over here, and I can just move my slides around with little to no difficulty. One of the other things I wanted to point out is that you need to keep it down to 1 piece of evidence per card. You're not going to take multiple quotes, even if it's from one source, and stick it on one card. That's where you can end up having 3 note cards for one source, which is not really a big deal. They're all easy enough to copy and paste. All of this information, as I stated before, comes from your MyBib website, which is why I wanted to show you that first. And then here, even though you may be looking online for a poem or a video, I would like you to specify exactly what you are looking at. I know it might be a website. I'd like you to put, website/article, website/video, website/slash poem, just so you can kind of keep track of the variety of information that's out there for you. You should not really be walking away with 6 articles, right? Like you should be watching things, listening to things, following the data. If you have any other questions, you can certainly feel free to ask me in Google Classroom or shoot me an email, but hopefully this clears up how to use your digital research cards for our project. Have a good day, everybody.